Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we are doing Stop Everything, Take Care of Your Emergencies. I was drawing a rune to see what this is going to be about, and I got Now-Thieves reversed. And Now-Thieves always means tend your needs, but when it's reversed, it means drop everything and tend your needs. This is an emergency, so the theme of today's readings are face your emergency. So, because you get into a state where you're just like going along with things, and you know that something needs to be done, but you just get carried along, and it's time. It is time to stop everything and face your emergency. So I will be using the Tarot of the Magical Forest to bring this on as gently as possible, and I'm using the Carnelian runes, the Elder Futhark on Carnelian stones, for courage and bravery in facing your emergencies. So I have 4 cards spread out from the Magical Forest Tarot. Feel into the cards. One of these has a message for you about that. Is it card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, or card number 4? I will put the timestamps in the description, and I will see you at the readings. Bye! Hello, card number 1, people. So, we are going to start with turning over this card from the Tarot of the Magical Forest, and we're going to see the general flavor of what your emergency is, and we have the Knight of Swords. So, you are rushing to give your ideas or words on something. This is very important to get this message through. There's a message that needs to come through. So, and also energy. It's like getting that energy in the right place. Look at the horsey. Oh my gosh. So yes, do you hear the crunching? That's my kitty. She's right beside me, Freya. She is eating her food because she decided this is the perfect time to do that. So let's get some runes down on this reading, and we can see how you are going to be facing your emergency. Yes, because things haven't been flowing. That's right. Okay, so you need to get that energy flowing. Are you done, sweetie? Okay. Interesting. I'm actually going to throw down some extra on this one because I'm going to put down the whole reading, but I'm actually going to put down an extra one on this line just to make sure that we have everything. That ended up being there. That's interesting. Okay. Neat. Right. Actually, that's interesting because given some of this, I wonder if this has to do with the emergency is that maybe jumping to conclusions and jumping to say something and react is maybe the problem. But anyway, let's see where this goes. So the central issue here, we have Laguz reversed, which is the rune of the water. It's the flow. It's emotion, intuition, and heart. First way I'm going to read this is things maybe haven't felt like they're flowing, which is why you really feel like you need to rush in. Another way to read this is you're seeking your deep inner heart, and also maybe you feel like you're doubting your intuition a little bit. Leading up to this, you've been feeling very of worth. You've really been feeling your worth. Either that or worth and money is a question, but basically I'm seeing it's upright. So it's sort of like, okay, I'm feeling armored and of worth and ready to ride in, and yet maybe there's a situation where things aren't flowing that you feel like you need to address, which is the emergency. We do have a Thurisaz reverse coming up, so that's like the big challenge. But anyway, looking at that. Oh, I said I was going to put down one on top and a bottom, so let me just quickly do that quickly. Okay, yeah. So basically this is a warning of not rushing in. So this seems to be the emergency, is that your tendency might be to rush in, especially when things don't seem like they're moving. There may be a good reason for that, and rushing in might be a problem. So we have Barkana reversed, which is the rune of beginnings and birth, and it's reversed on the helping line. So it's sort of start your beginning deep within. If you're going to start something, start it deep within, see how that goes. The other thing that this is saying back burner a new beginning for a little bit while you take stock of things. Maybe don't rush in quite as much as you want to. And maybe that, I keep looking at Lagos Reversed, and maybe that's your focus, is like, how do I stop from just letting everything flow out? Because you get emotional, and then the emotions just drive you, and you just, it's just like, obviously this is swords, it's not like cups, but it's sort of like just the energy, where the energy is going. The horsey is like, oh my gosh, here we go. So what is going to help is back burner new beginnings and start things deep within so that they don't manifest just yet. And also this will allow you to really get a better overview of what situation is and what the steps are that might be better to be taken, and to take it step by step and to be patient. What isn't going to help is, there's this terror of how much time do we have? How little time may be left? What do I have to show for this? And also just the idea that, we want to, the energy wants to go there, and you feel very strongly of your worth, which you are worthy, but it's just a sense of like, it leads towards a certain amount of reactionism. Just like you want to react right away to something, whereas sometimes you want to hold back a little bit and just see what things are and where things are lying. That worry, and then that would lead you to a feeling like you have to pick up on your own and just attack these things on your own. With Algae's Reverse, which is the rune of protection and support, you may feel that if you feel like, oh my gosh, how much time have I wasted? How little time is left? I have nothing to show for it. I have to do something. And this may make you feel like you're not supported, and you may make you feel like you have to step up and do this. If that starts to drag you down, which it might, bring yourself back up to where you're like, okay, you know what? I do have time. I'm going to start the thing that I want to start, but I'm going to start it from deep within. I'm going to start doing this like deeply, and begin it deeply within, and then take it step by step and be patient about it instead of rushing in with my sword. What this is going to lead you to is a very great, if not feeling impossible, challenge. We have Thurisaz Reversed, which is the rune of the challenge. This is the Thorn, the Giant, the Gateway. It is reversed. It's a thorn wall, basically. It's something that is really difficult for you, but it's something that's on your path. It's something you've already started. You're like, I have this, and then I do this, and then it's like everybody's looking at me like the horse is. Like, oh my gosh. So how do we deal with that? And so once you've started to do this, now you're running up against the difficulty of it, the challenge of it, because it's going against what you're like in general. So what helps is to see it as part of your journey, like see this sort of to get in touch with your horsey. I don't see Avaz anywhere in this reading, which is the horse, but the Raido has a horse implied because Raido is riding, and it always has to do to bring in the younger Futhark and the Anglo-Saxon Futhark read on this rune. Is it's easy for the rider, but it's toil for the horse. So really get in touch with where is the toil happening, because it's easy for you to pick up your sword and ride in when you feel like things aren't, when you feel like something needs to be said and something needs to be done, because sometimes something doesn't, and sometimes rushing in to do or say the thing actually causes much distress. So this is why you're facing this. You're sort of saying, okay, it's like an emergency to not treat things as an emergency because otherwise everybody is like freaked out. So look at your journey. Look at what part of you is getting the toil put on it for doing this. What's taking the toil for rushing in like this? So that's what's going to help in this point. It's like just sort of to identify with what part of you is carrying you in on these rushing in quests, and yeah, so then sort of become a little bit empathic for that. What isn't going to help is we have Isa. Isa's the rune of ice. It's freezing. It's basically doing nothing. It's like, okay, you know what? Yes, this is a challenge, and just sort of freezing in the face of it. It's like, okay, I don't know what to do at this point because I've always done this, and doing this other thing feels uncomfortable and painful, even if the horse isn't as freaked out. So it's going to be a matter of integrating you with whatever your spirit is that's carrying you in on this journey, on this on these endeavors, and sort of get more with that. It's like, talk to that. And maybe even just do some NOR dialogue, a non-ordinary reality dialogue, where you're actually writing it down. You're having that conversation with what's carrying you in. It's like, look, I know I rush to conclusions sometimes. I know I jump in and try to fix things before I realize that they didn't need to be fixed. Okay, what do you think I should do? Ask the horsey, and the horsey will answer you. So anyway, doing nothing is not the solution, and freezing because you're not sure about things. Again, we already have what's going to help you the most, which is to take things step by step, and all that, and just see your journey. What is going to help you is to create around you a new surrounding that is going to help you, like, use what you have to control what you can. Create around you your reality in terms of what you need to have around you to help you be actively creative. This is active creation, but sort of to feel more in control, because I think this is happening due to a feeling of lack of control. And so you want to create around you a greater feeling of like being in control of what is around you, so you don't feel like you need to rush in immediately every time. What is going to help you there? I'm going to read this a couple ways. We have Vunyo reversed. Vunyo is the rune of joy. It's the joy rune. First of all, just to be aware of where there are the discontentments around you, and just sort of, without like charging in, just sort of address them one by one. Maybe make a list and just say, okay, I'm a little bit discontented in this area. I'm a little bit discontented in this area, and then work with that and try to sort those out actively, creatively. The other thing this is to find your deep inner joy. Tap into your deep inner joy, because that's going to help center you when you are in a situation where you feel just basically like jabbed into doing this. What isn't going to help is you're worried about energy levels. We have Sovilo, which is the rune of the sun. This is in a more positive line, it's source energy, but in the lower line, it's worrying about energy levels, and it's also worrying about, I would say, burnout sometimes, but just basically, that you have a lot of energy. I mean, otherwise this wouldn't be happening. So just basically, what do I do with this energy? And what is being suggested is turn that towards what brings you joy, and also creating your reality around you where it's not so easy for you to be spurred into action. when it needs to be backburnered a little bit, and then taking your time with it. And what this is going to lead you to is a greater connection with your inner voice, which is really great. I mean, that started here when you were connecting with your horsey, and a greater connection with your inner voice, a greater sense of listening rather than reacting, and also being more still and more silent, like not stillness like Isa, but stillness like listening, and paying attention more to your inner voice, like turning to your inner voice instead of rushing ahead, and so listening, silence, and inner voice. So there you go. That is your reading card number 1, people. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 2, people. So let's start with our card number 2, people, with our card, and we're turning it over this way. What is our emergency? Here's the little fox, and he is diligently working on things. He's looking a little stressed. So maybe the emergency, given the situation and given the question that we've put to this, which is face your emergency, it's okay to rest sometimes. I know this is your life's work. I know this means everything to you, but look at this little fox. He is clearly stressed, and he needs to take a little break from making his little pentacles. So let's get some runes down to clarify on this as you face your emergency and help this little fox be a little less stressed. Yeah, so active creation, that's what you're busy doing. But you can include that. You can include rest in your active creation. That is really important. So I'm going to build the entire reading first, and then I'm going to start reading it. Yeah, I see that. Yep, I know exactly in terms of things like that. You don't want to stop because you've got like you're busy and you're really getting somewhere, and you feel like you don't want to stop because you don't want to lose momentum. But at the same time, look at this poor little fox. So your central issue here is Ingvaz. Ingvaz is the rune of active creation. It's a reminder that you do create what's around you. You can use what you have to control what you can, and also just basically work with what you have to create around you what you need to have around you. If you have focused all of that on doing the work on output, that doesn't give you a chance to inhale. You need to be able to have a moment where you can breathe in and restore your energy and restore your equilibrium. And you can't always just sing out. You have to breathe. So that's what our situation is how do we include that? How do we integrate that into our day? Which is very, very, we're working really hard. And that's a good thing. But what is also good is giving ourselves the opportunity to breathe and to take our energy, like regrow our energy. Leading up to this, you have been expressing, you have been manifesting. We have Ansus, which is the rune of communication and manifestation. So you've been doing that, and you've been doing it, and you're wondering why things are getting a little fuzzy around the edges. And that's why you need to allow yourself to recover your energy. What is going to help you is immediately tap into your source energy. We have Sovilo, which is the rune of the sun. This is source energy. This is whatever it is that whenever you do it, you feel like I could do this all day. Maybe this kind of is that, but it doesn't. You still need to breathe. You still need to rest. So make sure that you're tapping into the things that are giving you energy, that are restoring energy to you, that are giving you nourishment. And what this is going to lead you to is you're going to have your worth restored, your sense of worth restored. The thing about Fehu, which this is it's cattle. And cattle isn't just money. Cattle is wealth, but it's the wealth that you have to tend. If you take care of your cattle, then your cattle will be your worth. It will give you worth and richness and money. Well, worth and wealth. And if you don't take care of the cattle, it's going to be not doing that. So take care of your cattle, and once you do, and this is basically you taking care of your cattle. So once you give yourself the time and the space to tap into your source energy and replenish yourself, you're going to feel your full worth again. Your cattle are going to perk up, and you're going to be like, yeah, let's make some more pentacles. So and that's another thing I'm going to read from this card is in other versions of this, not all of them, but in other versions of this, as these go along, they become more and more elaborate because he's becoming more and more good at it. The fact that they don't in here, and he's looking so stressed, at least in the context of this reading, it's like, it feels like you've been going through the motions, and you're not getting anything new out of it, and it's not nourishing you the way that it used to. So this is all the more reason why you definitely want to tap into things that are source energy for you, something that is going to replenish you, so that your sense of worth and sense of richness in your life, what brings richness to your life, can perk up again and become shining and help you to go back to making the pentacles in a way that also nourishes you. What isn't going to help you? You are worried about how much time has passed, how little time may be left, what do you have to show for things? It's just like this panic feeling of, I need to get this harvest out. I need to get this stuff. This is a harvest rune, and also time. So I need to get this harvest out, and it's like this panic of, time is everything, and the time is like at you. And it basically comes down to what we were saying before about momentum. Like behind that is a fear of losing momentum. It's like you have to keep going or you'll lose momentum. We have the flow. We have Laguz, which is the flow. And it's where your heart tends to want to be, is in the flow. However, you have to breathe. You have to give yourself time to recover. So doing this will actually help this, because once you start doing this, once you start tapping into your source energy, and once you start watching your sense of worth return and things return that are enriching your life, return to consciousness, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that's why I have to do this, because I feel better now and I feel healthier now. So moving forward, your next step is you're going to feel more supported, which is very important, or you may want to seek support with people you trust, or even just systems you trust. Like put something in place that supports you, that's outside of yourself. So we have algae, which is the rune of protection and support. That's your next step, is like, you don't want to get like this again. So you basically want to get yourself into a situation where there are supports, external supports around you to help you for when you get into that, where you're just like going through the motions. What is going to help you is give yourself time to be still more often. We have Isa, but the thing about Isa is ice, but it's also the stillness through which clarity comes. So be still and allow the clarity to come through, and that'll help you with this. The other way I'm going to read this, and this is the second reading in a row that I've taken a Younger Futhark meaning on one of these Elder Futhark runes, but in this one I think it's very necessary. It's Isa is ice, and Is, which is ice in the Younger Futhark. It also has to do with a bridge. It's like building a bridge, like a support for you. So find places that can be a bridge for you, where you can it can help you get across situations like this. Mostly, though, I'm seeing this, since I am reading this as the Elder Futhark, as give yourself the time to be still so that clarity can come through, and that will help you to set up the supports you need and to establish the supports you need as you move forward. What isn't going to help is worries about what you don't know, fears of the unknown, fears about, like, especially doing something like this. Maybe you've always done this by yourself and you're worried about what this is going to lead to. You're worried about what it entails. It's just worries. It's basically fears about the unknown. Reach out, get the things set up, and if it's people involved, then get the people involved, and being still will allow you the clarity that you need, so that you're making the right decisions for this kind of thing. Your next step on this path line is Thurisaz, which is the rune of the challenge. This is, I think, the stage where you're going to be integrating all of this, where you're going to be like, I know I can do this. I can do this very, very well. But doing this, as well as allowing myself time to breathe and allowing myself to rest on supports sometimes, where I'm actually letting myself be supported while I'm breathing, that's unique for me, and I need to get used to that. So it's a challenge. It's not an impossible challenge. It's upright. We have Thurisaz upright, which is the door is open, the gateway is open. It's just going to be a matter of psyching yourself up and getting yourself to take it on and go through it. What is going to help you the most is really just surrendering to it. Don't fight it. We have Tivaz reversed. Tivaz is Tears rune. Tears, the warrior god. Also has to do with tending duties and responsibilities. And when it's reversed, it's tending duties and responsibilities that are for you. So taking care of yourself, making sure that you have tended your responsibilities that you have to your own self to keep you healthy and sane. But also not to fight it, just basically to put your sword down. Don't fight this new way of doing things. Let yourself try it. Why not? Give it a shot. Give this a shot. What isn't going to help is you're always worried about things coming at you out of the blue. We have Haglaz, which is the rune of the hailstorm. This is weather. It's chaos. It's things that are out of your control. And I think this is another thing. Is like you always want to feel like you know how to do this. But once you stop doing this, it's like, so there's just basically you're worried about things that are out of your control coming in and causing a problem for you when you do this new thing. But it's weather, and it's also just worries about weather. It's not saying that it's necessarily going to happen. So bring yourself back up to where you're making sure that you are taken care of yourself, take care of yourself, and also don't fight this new way of doing things where you are doing your work, but also allowing yourself to tap into your source energy and breathe and keep your cattle upright. What this is all going to lead you to is a greater sense of belonging in the world, which is great. This is Manaz, it's the rune of humanity and your part in it. It has to do with your note in the song, basically, and you're going to feel more whole and more integrated into that once you are doing both parts of this. Once you're doing both the yang and the yin parts of it. I don't see there's the yin. You're worried about the yin because these are like this isn't. Berkana is the opposite of that, but this is also yin. But it's basically, you're very yang as far as like putting things out, expressing and manifesting. Up until this point, you need to take those inhales. You need to allow yourself to breathe. And once you've got both, you have balance. You can face yourself with joy as well as others in the world, and you will feel as though you have a greater sense of belonging. you feel better about things. You feel more centered and grounded and all the good things. And you can keep making your little pentacles. So that, card number 2, people, is your reading for Face Your Emergency. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 3, people. So let's start with turning this over. Excuse me, I'm settling myself. Every time I do these readings, this gets pulled all the way down, and then it's just like a mess. And okay, we're good. Face your emergency. Let's turn this card and see what the shape of your emergency is. And we have the Sun. Interesting, because that's a really positive card. I'm actually thinking it might be... No, I'm going to throw down some runes first, and then we're going to go from there. Our little kangaroo in the sun. Sometimes the sun is just basically things that are overwhelming. Things may feel like they're overwhelming. And given that this is a kangaroo with a little baby in the sun, and just like, oh my gosh, so much going on, and all these sunflowers, and it's just like very bright, and she's got her eyes all the way open, and it's like, help. Yes, in fact, that's what this is about. Based on the runes. Poor kangaroo. But, sometimes that's the situation. Okay, so it looks like the emergency you have to face and acknowledge is that maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed, and maybe you feel like you don't have the support that you would like to have in your situation. It's a lot going on. Your entire field of vision, and it's just like... So I don't see Sovilo in the runes here, which is interesting because sometimes they echo each other, but I think this is what they're trying to get away from at this point. It's been a bit too hot and bright for you lately. And it's time to acknowledge this. So up until this point, you've been very good at attending your needs, or tending needs, just taking care of needs in general. We have so Nauthies, which is need. So it's just like, take care of this need, take care of that need after need after need after need. And it's getting a bit overwhelming for you, especially with the baby kangaroo in your pouch waving its red flag all the time. So and you're out in the middle of the sunflowers, and it's just like... doesn't end, and look how close the sun is to her. Anyway, so it's just like you're dealing with the needs, and you're very good at it, you're on top of it, but man, enough. So just a little bit of a break from the heat would be good. And yeah, so your central issue is we have Algiz reversed. Algiz is the rune of protection and support. It is reversed on the central issue part, so it's basically saying, one, there's a lot of this that feels like you need to be the one that steps up all the time yourself, and 2, you feel like you're a bit wondering where your support is. So what's going to help you? We have Hagalaz, which is the rune of the hailstorm. This has to do with, normally I read this as things that are out of your control and chaos, but it's also natural forces and natural energies. And I think this is going to be about you connecting with your natural energies and your natural forces. Like, you are a force of nature anyway, like, just remember that. The other thing that I'm going to read from this is just basically to remind you that things, well, the runes want to remind us that things that are chaotic that come in, it's weather. It's not going to be all the time. It is not going to be like this all the time. I mean, sunshine is weather at the same time as it being, sun. It's not just like weather, sun is the default and then weather happens. Sun is the default, but sun is also weather. So just basically this, all things change. Change is the one constant in the universe. And so right now, if you feel overwhelmed by the heat of the sun, it won't always be like that. So that as well. But tap into your own natural energies, and that you are also a force of nature. And what this is going to remind you of is that whatever is happening right now, being temporary, let's take advantage of it. Let's use it for what it is. So we have the harvest rune, which is about the harvest and also time. So it's using the time you have, like making use of the time you have in this moment to bring through what you can bring through. And once you tap into that, it's sort of like saying, get in touch with the rhythms of nature. Between Hagalaz and Yira, it's very much sort of like, you're running through this with a great deal of franticness when in fact this could be a dance, which would be less frantic and more enjoyable, where it's sort of a dance with everything. When you tap into your nature and see this as a part of nature and you are dancing with nature instead of trying to be dancing apart from it, maybe that's something that will help you a lot more and get more into where I see what's happening now, and let's use what's happening to bring through what we can that can only be brought through while this is happening. At the same time, I know you're always tending the needs, so it's an issue. What isn't going to help is worrying about what other people will think. We have, we have oh my gosh, I said dagas. It's not, but it feels like dagas with the sun. It's manas, which has a dagas in it. And sometimes that can feel overwhelming as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was a part of the overwhelm. We have manas, which is humanity and your part in it. And it's like there's this sense of, what are people saying? Like this worry about what people are saying about what I'm doing. And that if you ever stopped being frantic, people would be like, oh, well, that person's not frantic. They can't fit in with us anymore. It's like, no, that's wrong. You are a force of nature and you need to dance with nature. And if they don't know how to do that, then that's on them. Too bad for them. But it is a worry. And what this is actually driving you to picking up your sword and just like, no, I have to keep fighting. I have to keep fighting. But look at this poor kangaroo. She's just frazzled. So bring yourself back up to where let's make this more of a dance than just like this frantic, constantly running forward with the sword thing to try to keep people from the din of humanity from alarming you, because you're the only one you need to listen to really when it comes down to you and what you need. So try to find a way, as the force of nature that you are, to dance with the rest of the forces of nature and bring through what you can when it is time to do so. What this is going to lead you to is, I'm going to read this a few ways. We have Laguz reversed. Laguz is the rune of water. It's the flow, and it's emotion, intuition, and heart. So it's all that watery stuff. It is reversed on your path line. So you may feel a little bit of an interruption of the flow of things, because now you're not going to be just shoving yourself forward relentlessly the way that you were, but you are getting more in touch with your deep inner heart, and you are getting more expert at surfing negative emotions. So what is going to help you here is always know your joy. Let your joy lead you first of all, but always keep one hand on the joy. Keep one finger on what brings you joy, and always have that be a part of your life. So we have Vunyo, which is joy. That's what's going to help you, is find the joy. Find the joy, let the joy lead you, and always keep that on hand. The thing about having it always, to have this in mind, is that nobody can take it from you, because it's something that it's not like, it's the thing that I read once about Superman. Why does Superman fly but doesn't have wings? Because wings can be cut off. Superman flies because Superman flies, and nobody can take that from him. Well, obviously there are storylines, but anyway, in terms of just inherent thing, let your joy lead you. Find the joy in things. What isn't going to help you is you're worried about your journey forward, because up until this point it was just basically constantly tending the needs and rushing because you're worried about what other people are saying, possibly. Just basically there's that sense of, even if it's not happening, it's like, but what would people think? I have to keep going. I have to keep going. But now that you are dancing with things and letting your joy lead you, it's easier for you to surf the negative emotions, and it's easier to get in touch with your deep inner heart. And when things aren't flowing as much as they are, as they should be, or in your mind should be, you're going to tap into your joy and let your joy lead you and carry you forward. You are a bit still worried about your journey and what this means for your journey, because up until this point you were a model citizen and you were working really, really hard, and everybody could see that. There are so many people nowadays who it's like a point of pride that they are exhausted all the time. Please don't be like that. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. It is totally not worth it. You need to live. So tap into your Tap into your deep inner heart and find your joy in the situations that you're in. And that's going to help you. What this is going to lead you to is a greater sense of worth, and a greater sense of your life's richness. We have Fehu. Fehu is the rune of cattle. Cattle is, it's wealth, but it's not just money. Cattle is the wealth that you tend. It's whatever is in your life that as long as you take care of it, it makes your life rich. So you're going to be basically focusing on that. Now that you finally stop pushing, this has become more vibrant. You've really become aware of, oh my gosh, now that I've started taking care of myself or all these other things that are giving me joy, my life feels more rich than it did when I was pushing and feeling like a worthy citizen and was frazzled all the time. So what's going to help you here? First of all, after going through all of this, you're going to feel a lot more grounded. You're going to feel a lot more inherently strong and inherently healthy. Your health is going to be better. We have Uruz, which is the wild ox. This is strength and health, and also stubbornness to a certain extent. In the upper line, it's in a good way. It's like, no, you're standing strong on this. You're holding your ground. You're not going to go back to where you're going to let yourself get so frazzled and overheated by things. You're basically going to be solid, strong, a nice, strong aurochs and be able to dig in every once in a while with your hooves and say, no, I'm not doing that because that's not good for me. That is not conducive to my health. So especially since now things are looking really good in your life, things are feeling a lot more rich. So what helps is continue to stand strong and to, have have a little bit of stubbornness when it comes to that. Hold your ground. What isn't going to help is there's a sense, and this is all in the same package of what does everybody think? I have to push, and what does this mean for my journey? At the same time, you're not moving as rapidly as you were before. Things are taking a little longer, and that's fine, especially if they can. Like if it's obviously it's an emergency that you have to drop everything and do. I think right now the emergency is to drop everything and make sure that you're okay. But if, you'll always be able to do this. You have the ability. But you feel like things aren't moving very quickly. You feel like, how long is this going to take before I can get back to going crazy? Please don't do that. If that happens, bring yourself back up to going, no, you know what? I feel solid. I feel strong. I feel healthy. I don't know the last time I felt like that when I was doing this, so I want to keep doing this, and my life is feeling more rich than it was before. And what this is going to lead you to is we have Othala reversed. Othala is the rune of the home and the homeland. Reversed, it means a few things. First of all, letting go of what no longer serves you. So you will definitely be able to do that. You'll feel more comfortable doing that. The other thing it means is stepping outside of your comfort zone, because you are able to take care of the things that make your life rich, and you're able to stand your ground and say to the world, no, you know what? I know you want me to rush. I'm not doing that anymore, because look at me this is a picture of me when I was doing that. It was not good. So right now I'm healthy and I'm feeling good and strong. And the things that make my life rich are rich themselves. They are nourished and taken care of and upright. So why would I go back to that? So it will help you to step outside of the comfort zone that you sort of wore into the ground from this franticness and let go of what no longer serves you. You're going to move forward in a much stronger and healthier way. So that is your reading, card number 3, people, for Face Your Emergency. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 4, people. So let's start with turning this card and seeing what your emergency is. So this is the 3 of Wands. It's active waiting. I get the sense that you could be doing other things while you're doing this. It's like your whole... This little froggy, it is a froggy. This whole suit is frogs. So this little froggy is just standing there on the dock waiting for this boat. That boat's going to take like an hour or more to eat. This froggy could go get like lunch, It doesn't have to sit there the whole time. It's like holding the door for somebody who's like half a block away, So the active waiting thing, it's good, and you can do that. You can do that while having lunch. It's like in a certain theme park that we used to go to where they used to have fast passes, and you could basically get the fast pass, and instead of waiting in line, you could go around and do other things. You could eat, you could look at a show, you could look at the gardens. So this froggy needs a fast pass at this point. Like, just like, okay, you know what? That boat's going to take a bit of time. I know these are things that are taking time. Let's do other things with our lives while we're waiting. It's important, and it's going to help you feel better. I know it's hard. It's really hard. It's like super hard. It's like when we were little and we were waiting for like an exciting day the next day, and you could barely even sleep, and like things like the clock wasn't moving. So I know it's hard to wait. But it's like Mr. Rogers used to sing. It's like, let's think of something to do while we're waiting. Because you're waiting and it's like wasting your time. So let's get this. I'm going to put down all of the whole reading, and then I'm going to go and read it. Okay. And one more for the finale. There we go. So yeah, the emergency in this case, I think, is just basically, let's not waste our life waiting, especially if it's something that is coming. Like, you don't have to, you know it's on its way. You're actively waiting for it, but do other things. Like, don't just like stand there. I mean, you can if you want. Okay, like if this is, whatever. But right now, it's extremely difficult for you to step away, and I think it's something that you need to do. So leading up to this is your journey, and it's like your whole journey has paused while you're doing this. And you need to keep moving forward. It's very important. So your central issue here is Thurizaz reversed. Thurizaz is the rune of it's the challenge. It's okay. So the Thurizaz is always a challenge, but when it's reversed, it's like an almost impossible feeling challenge. It feels like things aren't moving. It feels like you're up against a thorn wall, and it's like I keep thinking of references, but anyway, the thing looks like it's not moving. It is coming in, and you know it's coming in. So just like let's do something. So what is going to help you is remember that you're independent of all of the things that are happening. You can stand up for yourself. You can go and do things. Expand your vision, basically. So we have Algae's reversed, which is the rune of protection and support. Reversed, it's like inner. So it's you're standing up for yourself. You're saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to stand up. I'm going to do something. I'm going to make a choice to do something. And I can do this because I am independent of these things. And what this is going to allow you to do is to open out your field of vision. This is the torch. It's Kaunas. And it's basically, right now you're like hard focused on this ship coming in. Expand a little. Like maybe there's other things that can give your life some more richness and pleasure than just standing on the shore watching this boat that doesn't seem to be coming, but that is. So just expand your vision a little bit. Make that choice, stand up and do something. It's going to help you. It's going to help you feel better and relax and not have your focus so hard focused on this thing that's coming in that will come in, and you can do other things. What isn't going to help is, one, you will feel like stepping away from this is abandoning your post. You will feel like you're used to this, and so you feel like it's too much, like you're stepping out of your comfort zone to leave at this point. But you can. I mean, it's not like they can even see you at this point. Like you're way the heck, you're a tiny froggy. So just basically, this might drag you down. This might make you stay there. Because you're worried about Tivaz reversed, which is Tears rune. You're worried about, if you put your sword down, you're abandoning your post. And if you leave, then it's like you're out of your comfort zone immediately. We have Othala reversed. Your comfort zone being the journey. You were on this journey up until this point, and this is the part where you're just like waiting, and you're letting yourself like be stuck waiting. And you can do other things while you wait. So this might try to drag you down, but just bring yourself back to where it's like, well, I'm going to go to the park or get a sandwich or, just like watch a movie, do things because you got some time. What your next step is going to be is taking care of what you need to take care of. We have Nauthiz, which is the rune of need. Once you've removed yourself from this situation where you're just waiting, just frozen, stuck, waiting, you're going to realize there's things you need to do, like eat, laundry, dishes, or just like breathing and maybe having a nap. So you're going to want to take care of your needs. It's not reversed, so it's not like an emergency. The emergency is like that you're stuck here. But it is a tend your needs kind of situation. So like once you have given yourself permission to stand up and step away from this active waiting situation, you will realize, oh my gosh, I have things I have to take care of anyway, and that will certainly fill the time between now and when the boat arrives. So what's going to help you is make yourself a plan. We have Gabo, which is the rune of the gift. This has to do with an exchange. Gift is always an exchange in Gabo. So, make yourself a plan, set some goals, agreements, decisions, goals, and plans, basically. So have a plan, like say, okay, I have this much time until the boat's going to get here or is expected, or until I've agreed with myself to come back and look again. So what can I do in that time? Let's make a list of the things that we need, because we have a lot of things that we need to take care of. So let's make a list of those and then see what we can do. Gabo also has to do with one-on-one personal exchanges. So you may want to do that. You may want to say hi to people who have wondered where you've been while you've been waiting. So just like make those one-on-one connections again, but mostly just have a plan. And that'll help you sort out, prioritize your needs, and so that you can do what you need to do the most while you're doing things while you're waiting. What isn't going to help is, this is still about this worries about, that I left my post. It's this discontentment. It's this worry about, if you let yourself, you can be just really not pleased. We have Vunyo reversed in the not helping line. So that's joy. It's reversed in the lower line. So it's just like this feeling of discontentment and unhappiness. But that's why you're doing things. Like, you're doing things to carry you through this part where you're waiting. And you'll feel better afterwards that you had gotten some things done than if you just stayed on the shore and didn't do things and then these piled up. So give yourself a plan, make yourself a plan, and maybe connect with one-on-one with a couple people, or a person or somebody that you care about. Just make that connection, things that are going to help you. And what you're going to get into on your next step is okay, you know what? I can use what I have to control what I can. We have Ingvaz, which is active creation. So you're going from active waiting to active creation. You're just you're going to get into it. Once you start taking care of the things that need to get taken care of, you're going to get into that, and you're going to be okay, I can make this happen. I can get this arranged. I can put things in place. What is going to help you is, you do have great inner strength and great inner resilience, and this is helping you with everything. But I'm also going to read this as Uruz, which is the wild ox. This has to do with stubbornness sometimes, not necessarily in a bad way, but just digging in your hooves. This is lifting up your hooves. This is reversed. So it's releasing the stubbornness is really going to help. Just not so much surrender, although sometimes it kind of is, but just sort of not resisting what you can do in this situation, because part of you wants you to resist. Part of you wants you to no, this is the only thing, this is the next step on my journey, so I need to be here. Do some side quests. This is going to take some time. So just basically, resist the urge to resist. Lift up your hooves a bit, let things progress. In a side way around this, because it's going to help you in the long run. What isn't going to help you there is, you're worried about how much time this is taking, and also how much time this is taking. So we have Ivaz, which is the rune of the yew tree. This has to do with patience, slow growth, slow development, step by step. And it's just in the lower line, it's impatience. Things are taking too long, and it's driving you crazy. And you almost feel like you'd rather be back here looking at the thing, coming in at the speed at which it's coming, than being away from it and wondering how much time you're wasting here when you could be standing on the shore. It's no, do the things. You're going to feel better. You'll feel better afterwards. At least I took the time and did this and this and this, so that when the boat did come in, that was all taken care of. I could enjoy the boat. So lift up your hooves, allow this to be happening, and rely on your inner strength, and control what you can. Basically, actively create around you what you feel like you want to have around you, because you'll have gotten into it once you start attending your needs. And what this is all going to lead you to is Ansuz, which is the rune of communication, manifestation, and expression. And it's things are moving forward again as far as that goes, manifesting things. You'll feel a lot better making things happen, and it will almost feel like you made this come in faster by doing this. So, but also just basically you'll be able to express yourself, you'll be able to manifest things, and things will be able to move forward in the way, I think this is basically the resumption of this journey. Resumption? Is that a word? It is now. So journey, Thornwall. Take care of things that need to be taken care of. Get right into it and start rearranging things around you in a creative way. And then things are going to flow again. You'll be able to, it's not flow. It's not Lagus, but it seems like it's a forward motion again, and things will be able to be more actively manifesting by the end of all of this, which says to me that the boat is either there or you don't care because you're doing other things and you know the boat will come. So that, card number 4, people, is your reading about facing your emergency. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.